Welcome back to Bonneville. Eric's en route to the start line for his first ever run down the Salt. For the first run, we have to go in the toddler pool, so to speak. So this is not the long course. The long course is 9 miles. The middle course is 5, I think. So we have to do like a qualifying run over 100 mile an hour in the baby pool that we're at now, which is I think 3 or 4 miles. Then we're allowed to go on the bigger course, and if you want to graduate to the biggest course, you've got to do 175 mile an hour. So basically we've got to prove that we can go in a straight line and not get in too many people's way. Don't think that's going to be too much of a problem, but it's all down to Eric. There is some quite cool stuff down in the pre-stage, so let's go and have a look. So this little thing under its umbrella is basically a 100cc step-through Honda, but quite heavily modified, including, in here, a nitrous bottle. So, apparently, standard, I say standard, it is 8 horsepower. And then he can wind the nitrous up, so his first boost of nitrous will put it up to about 12 horsepower. And then if the engine survives, he can keep upping the nitrous quantity until it makes bits of Honda B everywhere. Look at that little thing. Dinky little chain, big long swinging arm. Air-cooled engine, but with the air fins and everything covered over, presumably trying to keep the salt out of it, maybe some heat in it. Air filter and the carburetor hanging out the front of the bike so they're in clean air. Sort of little girder forks in it. Absolutely gorgeous little thing. Right, so this is Hero, and Hero is in the toddler pool with us because he had a little bit of a mishap last time out.
It was 3 years ago. We did a 260 in the kilo, like a 259 in the mile drop. But the front tire, something happened, just like lost the whole track while we doing the 260. Then blew out the coast, go between the front pole, like slowing down 230, 239.
So slowing down, you were 279 miles an hour.
239.
Oh, 239.
239. They went between the front poles. So it was like they didn't hit anything, but front pole about this far apart. We just getting out of the course and just went between the front pole.
Last time you were riding, did you have a bit of a mishap as well?
Yeah, last time we were not like ready for the rough course. This motorcycle doesn't really like the bumps and the dips, so I was trying getting up the speed and all this started happening. Like it was just more like bumps and dips as the motorbike can handle. So.
Part of the fun of coming to new events is meeting new and interesting people, and this is Micah. And Micah's been coming here for years and knows a few people who you might have heard of. So, when did you first meet Burt Munro?
1971, when I worked for Sam Pierce, American Indian Motorcycle Company. Sam is the man that paid for Burt to come out here to keep the Indian name alive.
Cool. We've heard rumours that Burt was a bit of a womanizer, bit of a ladies' man.
No, that's not wrong. He was not a bit of anything. He was total everything he did. I don't care if it's women, racing, repairing, building. He was all in on everything.
So he used to make bits of his bike out of bits of anything he could get hold of, we hear.
He pretty much cast most of his parts, his carburetor body, his cylinder heads, his engine cases, his cam cover, just about everything. And if you're wondering why, it's because he blew up a lot of in fact, just about all the original parts. Maybe one head bolt might have been the same after racing that same bike for a little over 50 years.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I've heard a rumour you were also quite matey with Peter Fonda.
Peter was one of my club brothers, Ugly Motorcycle Club, and he was a great guy. We rode to Sturgis together on one occasion, and we did several little short rides together in California.
Cool. So who are you helping out this week?
I'm helping out this young man over here, TK is his nickname, and he's the nephew of John Yates, who passed away last year, a famous racer. We also have his bike out here today on a memorial run, not a record-setting run, but just a memorial run.
Right, time for Eric's first run up the Sole. Ready, Eric? We've just got to wait for a particularly little bull taco to get off the course at the far end, so we might be a minute yet. Here we go. I could hear it setting off from the line, got to about fourth gear and was wheel spinning a bit. How was that?
Interesting. Obviously, totally alien surface, so trying to get the feel of that too, even in the sweep round to get onto the start line to have a roll and start. Little bit gentle up for the first couple of gears, and started just watching the speedo creep, 100, 110, 120, 130. Yes, and then upshift as you started to spin a little bit. Tried to get it to 150 before we entered the timed mile, and I think on the exit, I think it's just brief look down, she was just over 160. First run, yeah, well impressed. If I can't beat my teammate, I just beat the number that's on my bike, and as she is 155, we did 156.474.
So considering that was you have to do 100 miles an hour, I think we're okay.
I think we're sorted. Job done, I think.
Yep. Right, that means we get to go out on the middle length course next time, the 5 mile course.
Yep, back down to pre-stage, show them this, and then they send us down to points, 0 marker to do the full run. So obviously improve on that, and 19 short of the 175 to get onto the long course if I want to go over there.
Cracking. Right, so the way this works is, with the 3 different courses, we're on like the 5 mile course, and we're sharing the course with the Run What You Brung guys. So there's a queue of them all the way down there. So sort of we're in a queue with those guys. So when we get to go, Eric will start in between these 2 yellow markers, and he heads down in between all the red markers down there. They're every quarter of a mile. So you've got an idea where you're going, and I think there is a coloured line drawn on the salt, so you've got, a straight line to aim for. And then where you see the trucks and bits going down there, they're the chase vehicles for the international course, which is the fastest, biggest, I think it's 9 mile strip that starts somewhere over there near the freeway and ends up somewhere over there near some mountains. And it should be pretty much long enough to get most things motoring along quite nicely. So down at our intermediate start point, one of the other bikes that's just rolled up is a world record holding TL1000. And as you can see, it's not quite original. There are a few slight modifications. That's fuel tank, and there's holes in things and buttons for nitrous. Another sensible mod.
Dad's bed liner?
Right, this doesn't look particularly comfortable.
No, it is extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah, I haven't had sex in 2 years.
Right? How the bodywork, if you will, is made out of a semi-truck fender from the scrapyard. Wire brush to make it look Mad Max-ish, sort of pretty. And built it up over the last couple years and trying to hit the 152 world record.
Cool. So the record is for 1000cc non-faired something or other?
Yep, altered frame, 1000cc twin.
Cool.
Yeah.
So on your 136 run, were you using the nitrous?
No, I didn't quite pull enough RPMs to hit the nitrous just yet. So hopefully that extra mile I'll get to push the nitrous button, which is my engine stop button. Is oddly enough is my nitrous button.
Here we go. From what they call mile 0. Proper run. He's actually got to go around a corner here. Let's see how that works out. I think he's done it before.
we have done. Down run 178.16 mile an hour. So if it was to do a return run to get the record, it would need to be doing 177.6. But anything over the 175, that then gives you permission to go on to the full 9-mile run, international course as they call it, from zero start. She's still wheel spinning over any of the little ridges on the salt. So even at full throttle, she's sitting about 12,500 RPM at TT gearing, so don't change the gain that much. And you can feel it still wheel spinning, and you can see the revs dropping and the speedo dropping between 180, 170 and fluctuating backwards and forwards. But no, overall it's good. Goes well in a straight line.
As with quite a lot of forms of motorsport, there are sometimes moments when we're, waiting. And today I've noticed we're doing quite a lot of waiting because there's 150 or 200 bikes here and they can only really run one at a time up the track. So everybody has to wait their turn. And we've been waiting a while. So we're running out of things to do and we've started, playing games. So it's my turn. I spy with my little eye something beginning with S.
Salt.
Yeah. Your turn, Eric.
I spy with my little eye something beginning with
S.
Sky.
correct.
How's that game finished then? Yeah, there's some quite special stuff here. Everything from little bull tacos and modified Hondas and bits to something that looks considerably more awkward to get out of. If you need a parachute, you're probably going to be going fairly fast.
There you go. Put where you're from and everything on there.
It's a motorcycle streamliner. We're ultimately going to go for the big one, over the 400 mile an hour mark. But this year we got to do our incremental runs. I don't have any turbos on it or anything, but there is a national record of 198 and some change that I'm going to go after. Hopefully I can do that this week, and that if I do that, I know I'm heading in the right direction. It is a twin Hayabusa, naturally aspirated, no fancy stuff. We're just here to drive the thing and put down a reasonably decent pass. Hopefully go home with a quick national record. Like, nothing's quick. I've been on it for 12 years. Nothing's quick.
One of my favourite little bikes that's here is this little ZXR 250, 3,500 miles from new and absolutely standard, and the indicators and mirrors being missing off it. Standard exhaust a lot, which is why it's whisper quiet. His first run today he did 106 mile an hour, so I guess he's hoping for a little bit more in this one. That's it.
Little bit of an improvement. Last time it was 178.1. We got 178.3 on that run, but considerably more wheel spin, flat out, 6th gear. Obviously reading 170 plus on the thing, and it was still jumping and sliding and spinning up like it here. And so, yeah, well, a little bit of work to do tomorrow. One of the chaps did say, obviously, the course later in the day, a little bit of the moisture does travel up, it makes it a little bit slippier. So yeah, we'll try again in the morning and see if we can. It would have been nice to punch 180, but there was a little bit of a headwind too on that run. So overall, it wasn't any slower than the one before. So that's the main thing.
Thanks for watching. We'll be back very soon when we meet some legends of the straight line world, and we see if we can squeeze a few more mile an hour from Eric's bike.